Now we're back. Right, like last time, I've got no memory, all the drugs, epilepsy. Right, so, I'm Nathan, nice to meet you all. First time I've done this, I've shit me fucking pants. I've been an addict for a long time. I've been an addict for a long time. I'm recovered now, and it's all very nice. I'm not going to Narcotics Anonymous use, don't worry. So here's a poem about addiction, just a short and sweet one. I'm addicted. I fixate on everything I touch. You, me, them, this, it, and us. Whether that be poetry, conversation, silence, drinking, music, art, creative thinking, happiness, love, hatred, or cocaine. No, I have only one vice really. I'm hooked, I'm addicted, I'm chained to my brain. Thank you. So this next one is about, for context, I used to work in the NHS, NTW, just before the Tories got in. I was very young and I had no business working in mental health, you know, like I said, I'm a fucking ex-drug addict, you know. And I saw the Tories tear the service apart very quickly, and then obviously as an inpatient I realised there's quite a few flaws because of the lack of money in the NHS itself. So this is called I'm Not Mad Me. I'm not mad me. 18 years wistfully waiting in NHS purgatory. I'm not mad me. This man is presenting wonderfully. I'm not mad me. Well, it's safe to say we can discharge your concerns, put you and your lack of case away. Because I'm not mad me. My brain doesn't hang on the thread of pervasive intruding thought, nor does the glimpse of a bridge excite me. It's not the release from the mortal coil that I sought, nor the venting of anguish that cannot be bought. Because I'm not mad me. Like so many before us and in front, my mind occasionally rattles and calls me a cunt. I have trauma. In fact, I'm riddled. Lots of it too. But it isn't gut-wrenching depression, anxiety, or even severe blues. Because we're not mad me. And that's why we don't get the help we all need. 18 months in a queue for CBT. Because we aren't hanging from a Jesmond tree. We don't get the therapy and the care that we seek because we aren't mad us. We have to put up a front. We present very well to doctors and nurses, so they speak to us black and white, weak suggestions said blunt, as follows. Have you tried meditation for your deep-rooted woes? Yoga and mindfulness in some well-being pose. Maybe some kale whipped up with some root. A smile on your face, collecting snippets of trauma every Friday, self-medicating with a gram of tooth. Because I'm not mad at me, but I'm sick of the wait. Let me see your hands if you haven't lost a mate. Heard of a friend delivered to the gates, lost to this epidemic of a government ruling us under a psychological curse, telling us all we need is a few short sessions with a psychiatric nurse. Because I'm not mad, I'm angry as hell. We sit anticipating for the toll of the bell. 5,691 minds we lose a day. Surely there's a magic money tree so this once great service can help keep this eugenics project at bay. Because I'm not mad me, I'm losing my patience. I'm sick of seeing the great fall from grace due to clinical complacence. The next time you vote, please use your head. Because I'm not mad me, there will be many more dead. Many more gone, lost to the wind. I'm not mad me, but I'm sick of seeing others living in such unrelenting dread. Yes. So, I'm a bit of a trippy cunt. I've always loved mushrooms. I always loved them, right? But I used to abuse them, you know, I'm an addict. One day at a time. And I realised over the past few years that you don't need to use them to get fucking wiped out the face of the planet. You can actually use them as a tool, and they were very helpful in my approach to addiction and help us remove cocaine from my brain, as it were. So this is called psychedelic thinking. I've often been a seeker. I seek stimulation, experience, sight, sound, elaborations, and experience. So for me, it was obvious that a feeling so profound, so real and deep in its explanation of nought, would seek and explain what the universe has in store and what it's all about. But this is the thing, there's a catch. I've talked with the gods on mountains made of pure Sanskrit. I've listened to the sunrise and understood why. I've projected thoughts of pure energy between me and my friends. But 6 hours later I come down and it all just ends. The sneaky fucker won't let you know what you thought. He won't even spare you a snippet of the last thing you saw. Fibonacci and fractals. Oh, how they all made sense. But just like how the trip has in the ground. But just like that, I'm back to being dense. I've held the keys to the meaning and understood the void. I've found comfort in the black, the light, the technicolor, then lost all recollection to the void. Monsters of pure energy, marvels of science, laughing interdimensionally at our vague human tries, poking at us, giving us little glimpses. The truth of the meaning of life is that it sits right inside us. One thing I've learned from these subconscious beings is that none of it's external. There are no ancient gods revealing DMT-soaked truths. It's me, myself, and I in self-made truths. The path of enlightenment is not paved with fractals and gods. It's simply found through having a word with yourself every time you are wrong. Stay humble and peaceful with those that you hold dear. You don't need trips for that reality career. They are fun and have their place seated in my heart, but I'd rather craft my own path than leave it to a false god. Right, so I'm a member of the campaign for nuclear disarmament. I fucking hate war. I hate it, and this is a bit of a topical one. I can't stand all this bullshit. It's disgusting. So, this is called Old War. It's an old war, this Cold War, but it warms up so fast. Thermostats rise, pending sentiments evolve into a blast. Can we risk and do we dare when we weaponise the Baltics against a great angry bear? France, the UK, Belgium, Turkey, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands and the US of A. Joint holding of nukes to keep the bear at bay. See, it's an old war, this Cold War, and the truth is hard to see. The picking sides makes no sense at all, at least not to me. Flag-waving pacifists celebrating arming our friends to the teeth, then citing stop the war like weaponry gains peace. No war has winners, and in death do we cry. It's an old war, this Cold War. Good versus evil is a big fat lie. Come Russia or NATO, both sides have an agenda. Spill the blood of innocents whilst they sit in the hacienda. Born into this threat, a gun to our head, a big red button controlled by a sick man. Twisted in motives, no shame for what's said. It's an old war, this Cold War, and it's heating up so fast. 4 minutes is all the next step will last. White flash, hold your nearest close. They melt to your sides. No mistake, no one survives. Pray these psychopaths stop the sharpening of knives. Pray these psychopaths think more than twice. Pray these psychopaths want a world for the future. This will be the last war if we choose to go nuclear. Because it's an old war, this Cold War, and it needs to slow down. Before it all vanishes and we're left in the ground. It's an old war, this Cold War. It makes no sense. Men educated in Harvard, Eton, Cambridge and the rest. Educated overseas, yet they're stupid enough to have this world on its knees. It's like they're in the past, devoid of any sense. It's getting really tired now. They need to change their tense. Bit of a lighter one, this one. Maybe, kind of. I'm not a very light person, I'm sorry. I've always had a grim fascination with hell. Like, since I was about 6 or 7, when my mum, weirdly enough, let us watch Hellraiser. God knows why. So, I'm fascinated by the kind of self-flagellatory nature of humans and the fact that we've made this thing up, or whether it's real or not, you know, who knows. I don't believe in it. But the idea of eternal suffering is just so strange. So, I wrote an ode to Hellraiser and Clive Barker. 7 walls locked in gaze, sights and sounds dripping in shame, wrath, lust, envy, carnality, sin, joy of none, lest we forget the rusted guns are stood at half-mast. Red horizon in a bloody gaze. Red horizon, looking for better days. None, it's all gone, it's all gone. The seventh sun, looking for none. Steam bellowing out 15th century smells. Torchlit stone lighting very little to see. The sound is near the hallowed gate. Blood creeping down the poisoned walls. Putrid dripping hate, pure horror and tears. Lost children's screams, mothers holding their babies near. Eyeless skulls. Smoke leaving the open wound, try not to look back. We all know about Lot. Marriage and fallacy turned to salt. Slapping flesh in a torn up dress. Anxiety shadowed, grim deceit. The fingernails bleed as we take our last breath. The torched unlit, then back and over and under my skin. The conveyor belt of hell tolls its bell, sinking sand, red hot eyes, scorching pain on every step, walking through guideless this stinking land. Scorching pain in every breath, scorching pain drowned, choking in bogs of regret. Resentful figures pulling at my path, hands huge, hands bathed in blood, bathed in love, but there is no light. Only longing, a true love for pain, sadistic and covered in pins. Chattering teeth, a grinless mouth, a screaming being from the gore-soaked well, because your suffering will be legendary even in hell. This is my penultimate poem, and I promise you my last one's nice. So, like I say, addicted in that. So here is an ode to cocaine. Mouth's fucking dry as fucking. So, delightful and delicious is our Colombian friend. He, because if it was a person, it's definitely a man. He'll pat you on the back till you think you're the best. But in reality, he wants nothing but self-loathing in his twisted diesel-soaked pan. He'll invite himself out even when he's not welcome. Encourage bad behaviour, break up your friendship groups, make you want to sink into the floor and cry into your pillow screaming, I just want more. He'll stop you from acting like a good dad, tell you you're right about everything, even if you're being really fucking bad. There's nothing you can do, even if you delete and block his number. You better believe that down he'll hunt you. Twisting and recoil, the dusty fucker rears once more. Because this delicious guy is not what he says he is. Not anymore. Not even without flaw. You've known him for about 8 years now. And he's beat you up a few rounds too many. If you want to meet with him, please take heed to my warning. Gan canny, gan steady. He'll tear your nose out. And he'll strip your heart from your chest. Tell you look great, a shadow of your former self. But he'll lie making he makes you look his best. He'll craft you in his image. The blood-soaked jungles in Central American dealers. But it's just a packet, a few lines. Tell that the farmers navigating their way through fields of landmines. Delightful and delicious is our Colombian friend, till he takes away everything and drives you right round the end. No family, no future, only dust junkie friends. Don't let the packet send you right round the bend. Just say no. Nah, try it and see how quick and easy it is to buy 3. And from 3 we go 8. Then a quarter to boot. Next morning your clothes are packed and your lass is shouting, get out! Right, I've got a prop for this one. Bar staff, I'm vaping. Vaping, listen to myself. Bar staff, I'm vaping. Being an absolute delight. Bar staff, I'm vaping. Where the fuck's me pint? Thank you.
Did he do this, did he? That was his first full set he's ever done. Yeah. So let's give it up again for NJK. Nicely segues us into